Hey there, fans. Welcome to another project update. At this juncture, we're going to go ahead and go over, as we normally do, all of our accomplishments from the prior month. So this is covering all the things that we've done in October. Now, before we get started, I do want to say not a whole lot of movement has been made, though it might seem like that. A good amount of progress was completed, and we'll go over that. So let's get into our agenda. We're going to go over obviously what we completed, what's still ongoing, what's coming down the pipeline, and then obviously the special topics that we normally do. All right, so what did we complete? In the prior month, Neil was able to complete scene 1113. I have not had a chance to take a look at it to see what corrections need to be made or so on and so forth. Definitely smoothing has to be done, but I'm not going to get into that until a little bit later down the road. Right now, what's pressing are the scenes that we are currently releasing, so that's what's on the forefront. Obviously, James and Nolan completed the scores for scene 11-4, 11-5, and 11-6. We'll get into the specifics behind that scene, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the special topics section. What's ongoing? So what's ongoing is actually scene 11-8, the smoothing of it, and scene 11-9, as well as the special effects that go for the visual effects. Now, that was in the month of October, and I did not get to finish it in the month of October. It actually carried over into the month of November, but I completed those on Friday. So those have been completed already, and Nolan and James are currently working on the scores for that as we speak. However, we're not going to count that until the November completion. So just wanted to give you guys an FYI there. Scene 1810, which Vicky is working on, she's at 40%, so a good amount of progress. Neil has not been moved on to anything. I don't have anything in the works for Neil. Reason why? There's nothing else to do other than scene 18. Scene 18 is so complex. It's really difficult for me to give it to Neil and have him run with it. There's a lot of things that are happening. The only reason I was able to give it to Vicky is because her section right now of 1810 focuses on a specific area of our environment and does not involve a bunch of other stuff that needs to be put in chronological order in order for it to make sense. So I was okay with giving that to her. I'm going to have to actually animate whatever's remaining. One thing that I forgot to mention was I actually did complete in the month of October. I completed scene 181A, so that was also completed. So we can toss that one in there. Again, it might seem like not a whole lot was done, but scene 181A was roughly about 2 minutes long. So that was a pretty good chunk that got taken care of there. And I was actually able to chop that down. Likewise with scene 1118, excuse me, 11:8, able to chop off 15 seconds off of it overall. So as I'm going through and as I'm refining and smoothing, chopping things down little by little, obviously the timing gets tighter. So all of that is saving us. It'll save us, saves us obviously animation time, but it's also going to save us rendering time in the long run. So that's all good. What is next? After I'm done, what I'm gonna actually shift gears towards is smoothing scene 1110, right? We'll talk a little bit more about the breakdown of the next couple of scenes because we've got 11, well, right now 11:8 to 11:14. 14 is done before we get into scene 12. So we'll talk a little bit about the breakdown of the remaining sub scenes for scene 11 in the special topics section. So I'll be focusing on smoothing scene 1110 and 1111. Obviously, like I mentioned before, Nolan and James are working on the scores and the sound effects for scene 11.8 and 11.9, which those are going to be the next scenes that are going to be posted. And again, we'll talk about that in greater detail into the special topics section. Vortex video is still pending, guys. I am terribly sorry I have not been able to do that video last month with trying to get scene 11.8, which is the next scene, smoothed out completely. I've just been overwhelmed. I have not been able to record the Vortex character video. I'm hoping to do that this coming weekend. I'm hoping to post it. I have a little bit of breathing room right now, thankfully, due to the fact that we finished this. So I should be able to take care of that now. I did not want to sacrifice. Let me rephrase that. I wanted to finish scene 18:1A before I did the character video, and unfortunately, it just took longer than what I anticipated. There were some dynamics that are happening in that particular scene, and I had to figure out a way how to do this because Jonathan did not create this particular thing, and I'll tell you what it is. It's a grappling chain that comes outside of Scourge's forearm. We did not have a dynamic rig for this, so I had to create it from scratch, and that took me a couple of days to do to make it work and look flawless, and so on and so forth. So I had to do that from scratch, and that's what kind of took a long time. So I promised you guys a Vortex video. I will get around to it. Just give me a little bit of time on it, right? Let's get into the special topics section. So we posted scene 11.4, 11.5, 11.6 flawlessly. We took out the error of kind of chopping it up in between. I felt like that kind of disrupted the flow of the upload, and Mike agreed, and we were able to get these next three scenes flawlessly together, and I think it worked out a lot better. It seems like there was a lot of positive feedback regarding 11.4, 11.5, and 11.6. And again, it's showing the action sequences between the Autobots and the Destructicons. We see Ultra Magnus taking a very brave stand. He's got some help against Galvatron, but Galvatron is just overpowering not only Ultra Magnus, but obviously the Viacon next to him. And the Viacon, if you guys have not seen it, there's a fatality, or I shouldn't say fatality, right? It's like a Mortal Kombat thing, right? But something tragic does happen in this particular scene. If you have not seen it, go check it out. But obviously, Ultra Magnus is in over his head, and he's got no choice. He's got to make a stand. What I think was very prevalent about this fight scene is the fact that he's trying to, he references at the end his mentor, his leader, Optimus Prime, and it kind of shows the quote that he chooses to say at the end of it. It shows that he's trying to fulfill Optimus Prime's shoes. He's trying to live up to his hero, our hero, right? And so that was pretty cool. Then in the next part, we see Knockout take on Scourge. Really cool fight scene. We really get to, this is the first time we actually get to see Knockout fight as an Autobot. Um, in Predacons Rising, he was very fearful of what was happening, what was going on. He made his stand against Starscream, which was the turning side, but then afterwards he seemed very fearful of the zombie cons, and so on and so forth. So this is the first time that we see him in action as an Autobot, and in my opinion, it's very epic. His transformation sequence when he seems to jump over Scourge as Scourge, is trying to cut him off, and just the back and forth talk. He makes his stand. Scourge is kind of laughing because it's like, really, you really think you're gonna stand against me? Okay, type of thing. So that was pretty epic in my opinion. The next one is Cyclonus against Smokescreen. Really cool banter. We really tried to focus on Smokescreen's youth, or his ability to trash talk, I should say, right? And his ability to trash talk can get annoying if you're on the receiving end, right? And so we see Cyclonus definitely finding him annoying. Cyclonus is a very serious warrior type, very similar to RC as far as, hey, when it's time for business, it's time for business. I don't like to joke around and stuff like that, right? Cyclonus has that very same outlook. It's a warrior type. It's like, hey, when there's a fight, there's a fight. And he even tells him, he's like, listen, maybe you should focus more on your skills than your quick banters or your quick comebacks or whatever, right? So it was a really interesting dynamic between the two. Obviously, Smokescreen is like all the Autobots, right? They're overwhelmed, they're overpowered. The sheer size of the Destructicons is huge in comparison, right? We've talked about this before, where Galvatron is the size of Predaking. You've got Cyclonus and Scourge, the size of Ultra Magnus, and then actually, I think they're actually, I'm sorry. Cyclonus and Scourge are the size of Optimus and Megatron 2.0, while Slipstream is the same size as Ultra Magnus, right? So there's a huge height difference between all the Autobots and the Destructicons that they're fighting no matter what. So that took place, and it was pretty cool. It was epic. Smokescreen definitely utilized his phase shifter in a very smart way, very creative way. in a way that was able to allow him to have a temporary edge on Cyclonus until Cyclonus was able to catch on to him using the phase shifter. So we'll see what happens, going forward in the next couple of sub scenes. Um, what's next? What's next? So let's talk about how we're going to break down the remaining sub scenes. Remember, like I said, scene 11 ends with 14 sub scenes, right? So that means we posted what 4, 5, and 6. We've edited out 7. So there is no 11 7 sub scene. The reason why is it's a small sub scene. It's less than 30 seconds. It might be 15, 20 seconds, something like that. And it really bears no impact on the story whatsoever. So we decided to edit that completely out. It's not even going to be animated. It's also going to save us time. So the next scene that we're going to do is 11.8 and 11.9. And we're going to see some more ongoing cool stuff. We're going to release that on the 27th of this month, so it'll be the weekend after Thanksgiving, a couple of days after Thanksgiving. So look for that same time, 11. The time's not going to change, 11 Eastern time, right? The scene after that, which will be right after Christmas, the day after Christmas, is going to be scene 11.12 and 11.13. And then finally we're going to round out and close scene 11 with 11-14, and that's going to happen on the 30th of January in the new coming year. So that's our breakdown, and the reason we're doing this is because 2 scenes together is roughly about 2 minutes. If you add in the recap, you might get another couple of 30 seconds. I honestly cannot put more into these sub scenes. Like I can't do 11:10, 11:11, and 11:12. I can't do that because then it leaves 11:13 on the short end. Not only that, it's a lot of action, and I really need to spend a lot of time smoothing these out. The timing is off, so I really need to play around with it, and I'm going to need the time to do it. So that's why we're taking 2 sub scenes at a time. And then 11:14 is it's a pretty good chunk. I think it's 3, almost 4 minutes. So you're getting a good full solid scene there, or sub scene that almost equals the same as some of the regular scenes that we've posted. So guys, that's pretty much it. That's what I have for you as far as our project update. Remember to continue to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Give us your thoughts. Give us what you think. Obviously, if there's feedback, let it be positive, right? We're so receptive of that. I personally don't like the negativity, just because, again, I've shared with you, we're doing this for free. Encourage us, push us on. We're really burnt out. I'm not gonna deny it. We are. And so your motivation, your encouragement really helps us at this juncture to keep pushing forward. Keep sharing our page, our videos. Share it with your friends, fellow Transformer fans, whatever Transformer groups or forums you guys belong to. Right, there's still a lot of people that don't know about this. We just had a comment maybe last week where the person was like, how did I miss this? And we've been obviously doing this for a number of years. We've got 22, almost 23,000 subscribers. We can definitely do more. Our GoFundMe is still there, right? Again, if you help us get this project rendered, your name will be in the credits, as it's been in each of these scenes that we've posted. And it'll obviously be in the credits of the Blu-ray disc that we'll be doing as a thank you gift for all those contributions of 50 or higher starting at the beginning of next year. So remember, we've touched on this before. If you've donated this year in 2021 30 or more, you're in there. But as of January 1st, 2022, we're going to go back up to what it was before, and it's going to be back to the 50. So if you want to get that Blu-ray special thank you gift at the lower rate of $30, you've got between now and the end of the year to make that happen. If you need to split it up, by all means, contact me. I'll work it out with you, and we'll help each other out that way. But until the next time, guys, thank you again for joining in. Thank you for your support. Thank you for encouragement. Continue to hang with us. I guarantee you that the story is not going to disappoint you, and it's only going to get better from here on out. That I can guarantee you guys. Guys, until next time, peace out. Take care. Till all are one.